Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Daily Rollup. My name is Kagan Dunlap, and Monday through Friday, we put together 5 to 7 short stories of things that are happening around the world to keep you more informed in an easily digestible format. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So we got a little story coming out of Kalispell, Montana. Apparently a small single-engine Cicada TBM 700 turboprop aircraft crash landed at the Kalispell City Airport, known as Glacier Park International in Kalispell, Montana. Apparently, the plane was carrying a pilot and 3 passengers, lost control during landing around 2 p.m. local time, skidding off the runway and colliding with at least one parked aircraft, which sparked a large fireball and fire subsequently that spread to nearby grassy areas around the airport. Amazingly, all 4 people on board escaped the burning wreckage on their own, with only 2 sustaining minor injuries that required on-site treatment. No serious fatalities or injuries were reported, though. And nobody was in the parked aircraft at the time, so there wasn't anybody in there that could have gotten injured. Emergency responders, including the Kalispell Fire Department, quickly reacted to the fire to extinguish it, and they contained it pretty immediately and prevented it from spreading further. However, the airport was shut down temporarily following the incident until they had cleared things up, and then they reopened again. There's a bunch of witnesses on scene that recorded video and photos of this scene happening and unfolding, and it looked pretty bad. So it's kind of a miracle that there are no fatalities. That's refreshing to see. Apparently, the Federal Aviation Administration and National Transportation Safety Board is investigating the cause, which is still unclear at this time, although initial reports suggest a possible landing gear malfunction or pilot error. Apparently, this footage was recorded in June of 2025, and it basically showed the Israeli Defense Forces 401st Armored Brigade operating under the 162nd Division, demolishing approximately 2.5 kilometers of Hamas tunnels in the Kafr Jabali area. This included dismantling multiple tunnel routes, destroying hundreds of terror sites, and eliminating dozens of militants and seizing weapons. Additional activities encompass the destruction of over 650 structures allegedly used for terror purposes in northern Gaza. And then in early 2025, operations deepened in Daraj and Tufa, where troops uncovered and dismantled a 1-kilometer-long tunnel route, as well as discovering rocket launchers that were hidden in nearby cemeteries, along with other weapons like small arms, ammunition, launch canisters, and things like that. Now, the Israeli Defense Force routinely releases footage like this, documenting the things on the ground to show people what the ongoing military efforts in the region look like and what the intensity of the operations in the area look like. Now, I think the reason why they release these videos a lot of the times is to demonstrate a level of transparency that they're comfortable with demonstrating, especially when it's in regards to detonating tunnels. And you can see in the footage that when the detonation happens, it's like a sequential explosion along a linear path, which would indicate that it's destroying tunnel systems underground, right? Now, as it stands, the conflict still remains highly polarizing to different people depending on what side of the fence you're supporting, but the purpose of this is to show that they're releasing documentation of things that they're doing in the region. So there's a Russian-Chinese logistical complex that's located in Tatarstan, Russia, approximately 1,300 kilometers from Ukraine. And on August 9th of 2025, Ukrainian forces conducted a long-range drone strike on that complex. It's actually called the Deng Xiaoping Logistics Complex, and it's in the Alabuga Special Economic Zone located in Yelabuga, Tatarstan, Russia. Now, the Deng Xiaoping Logistics Complex is a joint Russian-Chinese project named after the former Chinese leader and is described as Russia's largest logistics hub. It began operations roughly a month before the attack happened and is designed to handle up to 100,000 containers annually via direct rail links between China and Russia, facilitating broader military and economic cooperation. So it makes it so that it's easier for them to transport supplies and anything that they need to build things, to manufacture things, anything like that. Now, the Alabuga Special Economic Zone is a major center for Russian drone manufacturing, which would explain why there's such a close link between China and Russia there, because China is providing Russia with a ton of the parts that they need to manufacture their Gerin drones in country. Now, Alabuga's had massive growth in drone production, specifically outputs rising from 2,738 Shahed-style drones in 2023 to over 5,760 by September of 2024. So they're pumping these things out there. Now, the Ukrainian forces understand this facility's strategic importance, and that's why they targeted it, because they know it's a supply chain node for Russia's war effort. And if they can somehow inhibit their ability to produce drones, it can kind of like ease up some of the pressure on their troops that are on the front lines. As if drone technology isn't already terrifying enough already, they go and develop this. Apparently, Ukrainian forces and Russian forces have been mounting single-use light anti-armor weapons or rocket launchers on their FPV drones to engage enemy positions and enemy armor. There's been lots of videos coming out of the Ukrainian forces specifically arming these drones with RPG-18s and RPG-22s, which then these drones can fly to a target, align via the camera, and fire rockets from 200 to 350 meters away, which obviously extends the range far beyond where they would be able to engage if they were bringing a person there. The first time I ever saw anything like this was the Wild Hornets group was sharing videos, and they claimed the world's first rocket launcher drone in 2024, which was capable of a 5-kilometer range. Now, the Russian forces have been doing this as well. They've been mounting like the M72 or RPG-7 with thermobaric warheads on it to fire into trenches or vehicles. So this is just getting crazy. It might as well just be robots fighting robots at this point. So what you're seeing here is going to completely revolutionize ambush tactics and ambush doctrine globally as far as modern warfare is concerned. What you're seeing is referred to as waiting drones, which are drones that are emplaced in a tactical or strategic location, and they wait there dormant until it's time to execute some sort of an ambush if troops are detected in that location, like enemy troops, right? Typically, I would imagine that that area is covered by some sort of like aerial reconnaissance drone or something like that that can watch and see if troops are coming into that location. And then once troops are detected, they can just activate those drones that are sitting there. They can fly up and conduct their strikes. This adds a completely new dynamic to ambush tactics, because not only are you having to keep an eye out for troops that are lying in wait for your patrol to come into view, but you have to keep an eye out for any location that drones could potentially be lying in wait, like to conduct attacks on your patrol or whatever. Anyway, these drones lie in a powered down or low power mode to avoid detection by electronic warfare systems. However, they still have to remain on, because obviously it would defeat the purpose of having a active drone ready to take off at any moment if you had to go and physically turn it on. So what this means is that you need to have some sort of battery sustainment capabilities, meaning maybe solar technology that can help keep the battery powered or charged if it's lying in wait for extended periods of time, or, you know, maybe larger batteries. Solar panels are pretty cheap. I mean, you can get like a $50 solar charger that you can find a way to charge your drone battery with, for example. Apparently, there's some drones that can hibernate for up to a month, waking up on command. Now that I don't know about. But the thing that you're seeing on this video is drones that are lying in wait, like waiting drones, and a Ukrainian drone coming in there that is a counter drone. Like counter escort drones that fly in and destroy the waiting ambush drones that are sitting there. So anyway, drone tactics continue to change warfare as we know it. And like I said, this is going to completely revolutionize. And they've probably already been doing this for a couple of years by now. This is probably not new. This has probably been going on for a very long time. It's just that now you're seeing some footage of it. So Mount Merapi, which is one of Indonesia's most active volcanoes, erupted on August 12th of 2025 at approximately 8:39 a.m. local time, spewing a column of volcanic ash roughly 1,600 meters into the air, which is about 5,249 feet, way up above the summit. This means that the ash plume was roughly 4,485 meters above sea level, spewing up into the atmosphere. Now, this volcano sits within, like, nestled in the Pacific Ring of Fire. So it's obviously a lot of tectonic activity, a lot of volcanic activity. And this particular one has erupted more than 60 times since the late 18th century, often producing these ash plumes like you see here, pyroclastic flows, and other things. The eruption lasted for about 2 minutes and 35 seconds, with ash drifting southwest, potentially affecting nearby communities with light ashfall. Although currently there's no immediate casualties or significant damage reported, it's still pretty wild to see a massive cloud like that. Authorities have advised local residents to avoid a 3-kilometer radius around the crater and to wear masks outdoors to protect against ash, which I'm sure by this point, folks that live in that region that see this much volcanic activity are probably a little bit more situationally aware about stuff. So what you're seeing here is the Turkish KMC-TAC tactical missile weapon system that was developed by Roketsan, which is a leading Turkish defense company specializing in rocket and missile systems. Now, this thing was apparently designed for high mobility operations, featuring a stabilized turret with a 360-degree rotation capability that allows to fire while stationary or on the move. The system is remote controlled from inside of the vehicle, which is supposed to enhance operator safety, and it integrates advanced electro-optical infrared sensors for day and or night operations and reconnaissance and surveillance and target tracking. Apparently it can be configured with a bunch of different types of missiles. It can have like anti-tank guided missiles. It could be like infrared laser guided missiles that are like effective against heavily armored targets like tanks or armored personnel carriers. It could also carry up to 8 70mm laser guided rockets for lighter targets or fortifications. And then it can also have mixed loads. In addition to having rockets and missiles, it's also got a 7.62 machine gun turret for close support. And on August 10th through 11th, they actually announced that there's a major upgrade for this thing, which is going to transform it into an advanced command and control hub for autonomous, network-centric warfare, essentially enabling this thing to coordinate manned and unmanned assets in real time while on the battlefield to reduce risks to personnel, improve accuracy, reaction speed, and also battlefield dominance. So essentially, it's going to be like a centralized node that can control any other unmanned vehicles, whether air or land. So just another addition to the unmanned warfare assets that we're seeing developed by nations around the world. Well, that's it for the daily roll-up for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please let us know what you thought about this in the comments below. Let us know if you thought there was something we did well, something you think we could improve upon, and if there's certain topics in this that you appreciated us covering, or if there's anything else in particular that you like to see more on, some follow-up on, whatever it is. So let us know what you thought about the video in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.